Exactly. Mining and research and telescope. Think about telescopes on the
Astronomy, yeah.
dark side of the moon. The telescope will be fantastic because dark and quiet sky. Nothing more dark and quiet than over there. And in the Lagrange point too, of course. But yeah, so if we decide to put it in the thesis, it means that we propose that this will be the position of SI. If we make it as a paper, it is different because it will be an important paper, but not the thesis, you know. So I have asked Alberto what is in his mind. I will also ask to Marie-Louise and Amalie and let me say the other most active colleagues that for sure they will be interested to co-author in one or the other way. So I think maybe I can make a first preview of this document today. Let me say that it is this document is mainly focused on the social and biological, physiological and biological concepts. And only with one chapter, let me say, talking about possible industrial production. But there is nothing in this paper, there is nothing about technical and scientific and engineering. So I believe that, however, we have to prepare another paper on this part, on the scientific and technical engineering and all what we already elaborated on the Lagrange points and all of these things. Okay, so I think
I can do that. I can do this work, of course.
yes,
Maybe in cooperation with Alberto.
yes,
So,
of course, Alberto and also Gary, if he
and
wants
also
to
Gary.
go out, or it will be
Uh,
precious because he has very good ideas about engineering, architecture, and all these kind of things. Well, however, now it's 10 minutes after 9, so I think we are the three of us, and we should start. Well, we already started, by the way. I think we had a kind of agenda. Let me check. Let me check what was our agenda. Just a moment. Okay. Yeah, only 2 points. The 4th SI World Congress, the organization of the Living in Space Symposium, and invited speakers, abstract evaluation committee, and so on. And the second point was the Living in Space Initiative virtual workshop event the 13th of November. But I think that if Joe Pelton is not here, this point can be, let me see if I can find Joe on WhatsApp.
I will hold also a speech and a presentation on the 13th of November about
Yes,
artificial gravity and so on, and about habitats in free space.
yes. Well, I think it will be a good event because I see that you know that we have a registration form, And there are already a certain number of registered people. Have to say many of them are from India because the the collaborator of Joe, that is Sipsakar Palit,
Yeah, Palit. Palit,
yeah,
yeah.
is from India, and is for sure he is inviting a lot of people to join, and many of them come from India. Oh, Joe wrote to me an email, but not. It's about his presentation. I will reply to him, however. My God. So, okay, let me show you my paper. Living and working in free space. Okay, sharing. Okay, so it's better to work. Okay, working on the index is not. Yeah, is not. I think is too small to be read the index
Mm.
in uh, the sharing. However, yeah, I will read the abstract. This is short and say what the paper is. This article postulates a simple concept from a humanist point of view. Living in a rotating habitat in free space, as designed by Gerard O'Neill during 1970s, is very much better than living on a planetary surface. Such a concept is deeply argumented for the sake of a quick space economy growth and of quality of life, in a broad meaning from safety to health to well-being and great and glorious life experience. The priority of developing the geolunar space in the short and mid-term versus Mars and other solutions is discussed, emphasizing the many benefits resulting from such a choice, if and when a choice will be necessary. Of course, should any illuminated leadership find ways to do both geolunar industrialization and Mars exploration, we will fully support such a program. Key and user requirements for living in space are largely presented and discussed, as well as the most promising industrial products to be developed in space. Among the main advantages of living in an artificial spinning habitat versus a lunar surface city, simulated gravity for human health and physiological needs, sunlight energy is available continuously, the habitat can be moved away from incoming killer cosmic objects. In essence, on-air habitats represent a continuation of the Enlightenment and the Renaissance spirit. The belief that human reason, ethics, and creativity can shape environments that preserve freedom, dignity, and beauty. Living on the moon or Mars, in contrast, means adapting to alien hostile worlds that inherently restrict human flourishing and therefore the quality of life. For the sake of human survival and flourishing in space, we must push our look and design well over survival and safety. Habitats shall be beautiful, ergonomic, large and comfortable, and designed to offer a high and glorious lifestyle. Green and water shall be abundant and shaped in harmonious style. These requirements hold the same priority of safety and construction robustness. Beauty and art are the essence of civilization. If we build sterile, purely functional habitats, we would export only survival, not culture. A humanist vision of space demands that we carry into orbit the full richness of human experience, joy, creativity, love of form, and the pursuit of happiness. This paper mainly discusses human requirements for space habitats, health, freedom, social, industrial, and industrial. Technical and scientific requirements will be discussed in a future paper. So this is the abstract. I will not read it because otherwise we spend our night reading.
Okay.
However, I will share it with you, and
Yeah, please, yeah. Send it to me.
yes,
And I will read it carefully.
The primary rationale, I will go through the titles, however, because
Yes.
primary rationale for expanding into space, relieve the anthropic pressure on terrestrial environment. So here I am talking about how many we are and why the pressure on our environment is growing too high. Okay. Then living in free space versus planetary surface, a long-lasting trade-off. So here I'm talking, of course, about O'Neill, about some forerunners and post-runners. Let me say Arthur Clarke, His Lies in the Sky, aerospace engineer Daryl Romick in 1956 can be maybe a precursor of O'Neill. Dandridge Cole described habitats in hollowed out asteroids and in metal skinned colonies made from them, and had outlined the concept he called macrolife. And of course, Kraft Erike, who also talk about androcells. But in the Kraft Erike priority was, however, for the moon. So Erike think about Selenopolis, and only in a second stage, in a more advanced stage to sell androcells in free space. However, I took the opportunity to reply, Luigina, to reply to Giancarlo Genta. You remember he made after I made my comment about the habitats in free space that were completely absent from his talk. He replied with three objections, let me say. He said that he said that he preferred to have his feet upon a solid body. So Professor Genta doesn't like to live in free space. He prefers to live on a planet. Even, of course, he doesn't care about the physiological problems, adapting to another gravity and being limited in freedom to come back to Earth if one decides so, and so on. So he was talking about the radiation, that if we live on a planet, at least we only take half of the radiation, because on the other side we have the planet that protects us. I argument here against this thing because, of course, this will not eliminate the problem because, however, we have to protect from radiation, even if it is half, but it's not half because if there is not, by the way, the Moon and Mars don't have a magnetosphere, so they cannot protect us from radiations. Therefore, the problem should be, however, resolved about radiation. And the problem is the same in free space and on a planetary surface from this point of view.
No, the point is that in free space you have almost double because this is a real argument that has been discussed.
Yes,
if you, I mean, the radiation is already quite high, so it doesn't make a big difference if it is of a factor of 2 larger. Because it's already high also on the planet. But it's true that on the planet you get half of the radiation.
Yes, but we have already a solution. It is a habitat, a rotating habitat inside hollow asteroids, because the hull of the asteroids is the radiation protection. So this is the solution.
Also in an O'Neill cylinder or Stanford toroid, we will have a lot of ground. We'll have a lot of ground on the peripheral side. Therefore, we will have protection. However, we will be protected from some meters of ground.
Yes, maybe, but it needs mass.
Meters. Okay. Yeah.
It needs mass of material.
Yeah, also he made, I mean, he said also that he prefers a planet because the people who get there are expected to do mining and getting materials.
Yes, the
so he said if you are in the space, you have nothing to, you have no resources to find. While if you are on a planet, you can find some resources. So he also made this argument, not only the argument of the radiation.
At this point, I also argumented, this is the second point. He said the resources are on planets and not okay. So this is not true because resources are also in the asteroids belt, that is not planets. And but however,
no, but we were talking of a Lagrangian point.
Yes, Lagrangian points. Well. From it would be easy to work on the Moon and live in a Lagrangian point, making
so not in the asteroids.
Making work shifts. Let me say 1 week on the Moon working and 3 weeks at home in a Lagrange city. That will protect from the low gravity, and it will assure a good level of life to the workers and to the people that work on the Moon.
Yeah, I think it's also a psychological point.
Yes, of course it's a psychological point. Yes.
It is also a psychological thing.
But we think that the environment in the O'Neill city, floating city, will be very beautiful. It can be very beautiful. It can be really joyful because we will have a lot of energy, continuous energy, solar energy, and so having continuous solar energy will be all the light we may want and the possibility to manage the cycles, light and dark, as one prefer. If you want to have let me say, a 36-hour day cycle instead of 24, you can have it. You can manage everything. You are very much more freedom. And of course, the The main freedom is that if you live in a 1G environment, you can decide to go back to Earth when you want, if you want. And I have written a short story about a guy named Peter. So Peter decided to migrate on the moon at a certain point of his life. And he was living there for 3 years, let me say. And he was sure his girlfriend promised him to reach him when he decided to leave. But after 3 years, she has now a new job on Earth, and she is questioning this problem. And Peter has a big problem because at this point he would like to come back to Earth to not lose his relation. But doctors say that if he goes back to Earth, is not sure he can rehabilitate, yeah, with the Earth gravity. So this will be many people can find themselves in this kind of situation, that migrants decide, okay, I made a very good experience. It was great, but now I want to go back to Earth. And if you live on the moon, you cannot, because you are adapted. And, well, it is true, like Jerry says, that we don't know, because nobody still experimented what happens with reduced gravity. We only experimented with zero gravity, and this is bad enough, because let's think about Scott Kelly, what was his health when he came back to Earth, and it was terrible. His legs were like an elephant for blood circulation and so on, and also cognitive capabilities, the perception of reality, equilibrium, and everything was very, very bad. In his book Endurance, he describes very well all of these things that he experimented. And in this paper, there is also a part on that, on the study, some articles that were written by medical researchers basing on the experience of Scott Kelly that remained 1 year on the space station. So about resources, yes, resources can be, of course, extracted on the moon and also worked, partially processed on the moon, but working in other processes can be better developed in a free space environment, because both in case of a cylinder and a Stanford toroid, we can have in the middle of in the center, we can have 0G, however, and in 0G can take place industrial processes that get profit from a low gravity and zero gravity. And we can also have intermediate rings with half G or 75G and so on. And all of this will be benefits for industrial processes. Well, I think that the energy, he also, Professor Genta also talked about energy. And he said that as soon as the nuclear fusion will be available, solar energy will not be necessary anymore. Well, okay, that could be, maybe, but however, yes, also, I could add that even before fusion energy, because now they are talking about small fission reactors that can be moved everywhere and can work very well. We have a project of Enea in Italy that are developing a small reactor to be used on the moon. Enea of Frascati is working on that. And we also had a webinar by the director of this project in some months ago in late 2024. But this is not a, sorry, we have Susan. This is not a reason to avoid solar energy. I think that as far as we are in the internal solar system, within the Mars orbit, solar energy is a resource. Why not to use it? Of course, we can also use nuclear energy, and as far as we go farther from in the asteroid belt and Jupiter and so on, nuclear energy will be necessary because solar energy becomes weak at that distance. But inside the Mars orbit, I don't understand why we shouldn't use solar energy. And of course,
this is what is happening to the Voyager. Voyager is almost one light day far from Earth.
Yeah,
and it's still fed by nuclear energy, nuclear battery.
yes,
very, very old-fashioned because it was launched in 1977. So, of course, there has been a big development in the energy production.
Yes, yeah, of course, and but
this is what is happening to Voyager. It's using nuclear energy. The two Voyagers,
yes,
especially, I think that we are not communicating with one of them,
nuclear,
but we are still communicating with one of the two.
Yes, but we also have to think that, for instance, for fusion, helium-3 will be a good resource, and helium-3 is present on the moon. But there is not such a big quantity of helium-3 on the moon. Huh?
Oh yes, there is a big quantity. There is a big quantity in the lunar regolith, and in the regolith. Yeah.
However, yeah, I know that they think to use it for on Earth for fusion, nuclear fusion on Earth, and also other materials are needed for fission, not for fusion, but for fission, like uranium and so on. They should be mined. That should be fine. And I think that, however, it is easier. Well, I don't have data about that, so I should make a research. But I think that silicium to make solar panels is easier to be mined and processed than maybe find nuclear raw materials in space.
Yeah, silicon is on the moon available, of course. Silicon is on the moon available.
Yes, yes. So, well, okay. I only made a conceptual discussion here, not based on research data, statistical data. So this is something to be done yet. However, I think that, well, I argumented, demonstrated that, however, yeah, as many other things that are psychological and
psychological mostly
factors of fate, there is a point for the freedom, no? Because if we think to allow people who want, of course, there can be people that prefer to live on the moon or on Mars, renouncing to the freedom to go back. Someone can say, okay, I will sign that I will stay there. So let me go. Let me make my Selenopolis on the moon and my Mars city on Mars. Of course, please do it. But why you don't want me to have to think about the freedom to come back to Earth? So we can have cities on the moon and in the Lagrangian points. There is no reason to choose and to forbid one or the other solution. What I am saying is that from a humanist point of view, for the freedom and for the health and for avoiding too quick changes in physiology, these are important requirements, humanist requirements. Then an habitat in free spaces is preferred. Then, of course, we are not saying, no, let's only make habitats in free space and not on the planet. Of course not. Can do both, because as I said, there can be also people that decide to go there and never come back. Yeah. And important is that they are conscious of what they are deciding, of course. Because one day one can be, if it was not conscious of what was deciding, one can think to be, oh, well, I've been deported. I cannot go back.
Now, I think in the long run, they would become a new humanoid race because they're much,
Yes.
they have another physiology of them, of course, then. They have another physiology in the future.
Yes, it will change. Physiology will change, and it is also possible that our human physiology can adapt to a higher level of radiations. Why not?
Yes, this would be possible.
If we think that humans migrated from Africa to the northern regions, where conditions are very much different, no?
Yeah, the body can adapt.
We became white. We were black and we became white, coming because our skin absorbed less nutrient from the sun. Therefore, our skin became white. That was an adaptation. So
yeah, but it didn't happen on the scale of a lifetime.
Just one thing. My point is that the slower is the adaptation, the best it is, because there are social problems linked to the changes. So if we change too quickly, we will experiment a lot of bad things, of social problems and differences, no? Oh, the terrestrials will be more small, and the lunars will be taller, and the belters will be even longer, and so on. The Martians will be different, and of course there will be this differentiation, of course. But what I say from a humanist point of view is the slowest it is, the best it is. So, well, this paper argument all of these things.
Okay.
Catherine Zucker.
How long is it? How many pages?
It is 15 pages. 15 pages, 9,000 words, more or less. Sorry, do we have Susan, maybe?
Yes, I'm here. I'm listening.
Because I didn't see you, I didn't hear you, so you were there silent.
No, I was listening to what you're saying, and I agree. We will all speciate and look different, living in different gravities in the future, just like we have done here on Earth, as you had said, right? the origins of Homo sapiens sapiens from Africa, and then we all like diverged into different environments, and the environment, changes our phenotype and our genotype. And but if we were to boil it down to the most fundamental composition of every single human being, we were all made of carbon. So, and the four, basis, if we were to really say, what is our commonality? But if we were just to base it on, appearances or phenotype, then yes, we would look different. Only because, evolution, we adapted to our environment, and that will exactly happen the same as we go into different gravities. And so I totally agree with what you're saying.
Yeah. Okay. So I have added here something that I was not able to add in a paper that I have written some years ago for the Mensa Institute of the USA. It was this paper is on the SRI website. However, in the papers section, where there are all the philosophical and scientific session and so on. So these are articles written by Catherine Zuckerman on National Geographic of April 2019, and it is on the experience made by Scott Kelly, the astronaut Scott Kelly, and it's very, very detailed. I was not able to add this part in that paper because it was too long, and the editors asked to me to short it. But I think it's important to put it here because there are many considerations about the health problem that Scott experienced when he was back on Earth after 1 year on the ISS. And okay, so I added this. But a large part of my paper here talks about a non-mere utilitarian safe approach to space habitat design. So far, the design of space habitats, orbital space station, was intended to satisfy some essential requirements, such as isolation from the void of space, safety, enough room for scientific research activities. The intended users of such environments were military astronauts to be there for missions no longer than 6 months, in few cases 1 year. In his already mentioned book, Endurance, astronaut Scott Kelly claimed the insufficiency of some subsystems of the ISS. First of all, the breathable or air recycling system. ISS air recycling system was designed to support its maximum capacity of 9 astronauts, although it typically provides oxygen for a crew of 6. By the way, they were 10 people on board when Scott Kelly and Samantha Cristoforetti was there also. And with 10 people on board, they had headache continuously because of the carbon dioxide accumulating in the air. So I'm saying that to promote the criteria of very large redundancy, if not to say a flamboyance criteria. That is to do things very much better, very much bigger than what is the need, the minimum need. Why it is possible? Because we are working with abundant resources in space, so it will not be a problem. Okay. The flamboyance criteria was mentioned by Howard Bloom in his beautiful lecture he gave a few months ago, presenting his book, A Case of the Sexual Cosmos. Everything you know about nature is wrong. Howard Bloom maintained that nature works with flamboyance. Nature is not greed. Nature doesn't count the sense. when makes things, but provide a lot of things. And of course, many things will fail, but many will not fail. And on this great abundance is the success of life that continues, notwithstanding all. Life continues. Why? Because nature is prodigy, is not greed, is not, doesn't think about economy. Okay, so I think this should be the concept, the spirit, when we approach the design of space habitats. Okay, freedom and human rights, of course. This is where I talk about that poor guy, Peter, that has the dilemma, and impossibility to come back. Psychology, ergonomics, well-being, well-interacting, and privacy. So freedom for individuals and for communities to stay along and to stay together and to talk, and there will be room for all the needs. And of course, the same person can have different needs in time. No, one day I want to be alone, and then I feel alone, and I want to socialize and to meet with people and drink and talk together and even dance and having fun and so on. Green environment, gardens, and water mirrors. Beauty, ergonomics, and comfort are not low priority. Culture, education, and arts. And I also reported here the piece that Marie-Louise wrote for the Ethos program 1 year ago about the social activities. And of course, then I will ask Marie-Louise if we can put her piece in, because we know that she's very, very strict about, but however, of course, she is mentioned and her copyright and everything. So I think it is correct. I hope so. So social life and governance. Space medicine and healthcare. This is a small paragraph taken by Susan, suggestions about space medicine and healthcare for the ethos. Well, to be honest, I took very much from the ethos, from our ethos statement of work, because it was really very rich from the point of view of the requirements. So I think it's time to systematize these concepts and put them in our theory, in our theoretical development. Then, of course, Susan, if you will co-author this paper, and even if you will not co-author, you are free to make this small paragraph even a little bit expanded.
Sure, I will do that.
Okay, thank you. Then, okay, there is a second chapter. It is bootstrapping industrial production in the geolunar space. And this is a list of the possible industrial productions: satellite manufacturing, servicing in orbit, additive manufacturing, energy relays, orbital debris recovery and reuse, propellant production and depots, lunar and asteroid mining and material refinement. And here okay, I also put something on the possible roadmap, the timing, 2025, 2035, prospecting and sampling stage, robotic missions, 2035 to 45, pilot extraction and processing facility, and okay, on the moon, And by the 2050s, continuous flow of materials between the Moon, Earth, Moon Lagrange points, and orbital shipyards could be established. And okay, here I expect that if Werner wants to co-author, maybe he can give more details on this part.
Yes, sure, I will. I will do, yeah, sure.
Great. Okay, feasibility of lunar mining is already high. Orbital and surface missions have confirmed the presence of water ice, oxygen, being regulated metallic elements, and so on. The convenience and strategic value of local resource extraction are enormous. Every kilogram of propellant or construction material mined in space avoids tens of kilograms that would otherwise have to be launched from Earth. Local production reduces costs dramatically, enables large-scale construction, and so on. A mature mining ecosystem will include lunar polar bases, transiting water ice, electrolysis plants producing hydrogen and oxygen for fuel, etc. K, enabling technologies in precision landing, autonomous excavation. Despite space mining faces significant risk, also some risks are to be considered. But lunar industrial mining are not speculative fantasies, but the logical next step in human industrial evolution. Technologies within reach, economic rationale is compelling, and environmental and civilization benefits are profound. Then, okay, in the last chapter, the third one, I talk about living in space, meeting some user requirements. So the gifts of free space, full human freedom and self-determination are assured. Earth-like living conditions may be achieved by design, simulated gravity set to 1G. The free space environment provides many gifts not yet fully appreciated. Here I cannibalized another papers of mine that was what I called the fifth season. The space bingo surprises, very profitable and not obvious gifts of space. So starting from the easiness of transportation, because there is no gravity well to be overcome to move from a free space habitat. Very much cheaper than moving from any planetary surface. So even to reach the asteroids and to reach any orbit, Earth orbit and orbit of other celestial bodies, it's easier than moving from a. Then the other great point is the space engineering that is very much lighter than what we have on a gravity environment, because let's just think about the inflatable structures that are the materials are very thin, but they don't have to resist to gravity. They don't have to resist to winds and to other things that we have on Earth. Therefore, they can be an antenna, a 30 meters diameter antenna made of gossamer, inflatable and chemically residuizable, is incredible. It maintains its shape, notwithstanding made of a material that has the thickness of a garlic skin, let's say. Then, okay, health, safety, and quality of life, sustainability and economic logic, cultural and human flourishing, a step behind survival. Okay, this is all by now. As you see, there is not a chapter about technical and scientific challenges. That I suggested it may be another paper that I think can be driven by Werner and Alberto, let me say the engineering part of our committee. and yeah, and also from the Space Habitats Committee and the technical tech and engineering. So this was in brief my draft paper that I will share with you. And okay. Now, please allow me 30 seconds. I need some water. Okay, I'm back.
So, so you will send it over for comments, okay? Beside the
yes
to do things that are in the chat. If you go to the chat.
Okay, I can share it now here.
Action items. Do we have a program for the November meeting?
Yes. So, okay, let me take note of this. Share. Okay. Yes, the November meeting. We already have the event. Just a moment. I have to go.
It's on the 13th of November.
13th of November, yes.
Yes.
I will give you the link to the event that is already created on SRI website and on YouTube and Facebook. Events. Yeah. I put it here in the chat.
Mm-hmm.
There you have the abstract, the speakers.
Oh, okay.
And links to the YouTube event and to the Facebook event.
Okay.
Then I don't know. I think this could be the definitive program, because
okay. What time is it? 3 p.m. No, 5 p.m. Central European Time.
Yeah, 5 p.m. European time.
Okay.
Because it is, I think it is one.
Yeah, it's a bit longer. Yeah.
Yeah, it will be 4 hours, I think.
Okay. So I'm sorry I have to go because I have guests and they are expecting me at 10. Thank you. Night.
Good night.
Bye-bye.
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 Bye.
So, who has gone? Luigina, I think.
Yes.
Yes. Okay, so I think, yeah, of course, it is very early for inviting people to the Congress, but it's not early to invite speakers for the webinars, for the preliminary webinars. In fact, our calendar is well filled until. Okay, let me see the calendar. That's interesting too. Allora, to share it. Let's see if we can see it a little bit bigger. View. Zoom. Yeah. Can you read it?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, we have Werner next Monday. Then we will have Joe Pelton the 20th of October. We should have Thomas Matula the 3rd of November, but I will ask him for confirmation. Then we will have a Russian guy, Dmitry Zarubin, the 10th of November, talking about International Lunar Program Sustainability, ISS lessons learned as applied for lunar exploration. Then we will have Anthony Fucilla. This is not a preliminary webinar of the Congress because it was scheduled before. Even Dmitry Zarubin is the same. Fucilla will talk about terraforming Mars. Robots will pave the way to Mars. Then we will have Susan, the 24th of November, Space Pharmacology and Medicine. And Susan, you're still here?
Yes, I am.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I need an abstract.
Sure.
And updated short bios of yours
Mm-hmm.
to prepare
Sure.
the event for this webinar.
Right. Yeah,
Oh,
I'll send that over to you.
great. Then the 1st of December, Guy Pignolet will talk about his initiative called Piece of Cake. Guy is called people. Joining now. Okay. Guy is our friend from La Réunion. He is calling people around the world to cook a cake and offer to the neighbors and to the family and so on, talking about the spirit of peace of the space tradition of the astronauts from the Apollo-Soyuz meeting and other collaboration and the continuous collaboration of astronauts in space. Then the 8th of December, we should have John Mankins, but even this should be confirmed. Talking about space solar power. In the 12th of January, Emily Sinclair will talk about SRI at UN Couples, our experience and what we are doing there and so on. Then we will have the 19th of January, Frank White. He should send to me the title and the abstract in the next days. Then the 26th of January, Gary Barnard, utilization of EMS and kinetic fabrics in variable gravity adaptive and rehabilitative medicine applications. Then in February, Mary-Louise Heuser will talk about space romanticism, the indeterminate as a prerequisite for freedom. In February, Alberto Cavallo will talk about data centers in space. Cheryl Gallagher in March will talk about culture in space. And Rick Tomlinson in March still have to give me the title, but Rick now is very, very much engaged with his initiative, New Words, that should take place, I think, in November, early November. Then we will have Isaac Arthur on building and living in space. And yeah, this will be done. Good that we are talking, Werner, because I have proposed to Isaac that we will be 3 or 4 of us making questions to him.
Yeah, yeah.
He is doing, he has very, very good lectures online on his website. And yeah, on the, maybe I already wrote something more. Just let me check, because I think I already wrote something more in the public. Let me calendar. Oh, it's not true. I haven't written anything more. However, okay.
I think we will have some questions to him. We will have some questions.
Also Alberto already said.
Also Alberto, yes.
So we will be 3 or 4 of us. Hello, Joe.
Hello. Actually, I've been on, but I didn't. The video wasn't working, so I had to sign out and sign back on.
Okay. Well, we will have the recording, so you can see it. You can see it later. What we have done so far. We were also talking about the 13th of November, the event for which we have many registrations. I think
India seems to be winning. I think that's
yes, I've seen there are many Indians. Yes.
So I think that's due to Subsankar Palit and his organization, which is
yes.
in India.
That's true.
Anyway, we're doing very well, I think, and of course, it's a long ways till the 13th of November, so I think we will have several hundred registrants before then.
Can you raise a little bit your volume, possibly?
Oh, okay. I'm not sure. Maybe if I'm closer, can you hear me better now?
Yes, better. Thank you.
Okay. Well, anyway, several things are coming together. Now we have 5 of the articles for the special issue and I'm trying to get confirmation from Gary Barnard and Madhu as to when they will get their articles in. But we have 8 of the 10 that are in and accepted or will be put in within the next few days. So it's only Madhu and Gary's articles that are missing for the special issue. And then for the book, we have a proposal out for review for Springer book, and the type of book that they're planning would sell for about $40, which is pretty good for an academic press book. And I'm hoping to get approval from Springer within, by the end of the month. And we do have, I think, 21, including your article, that in terms of chapters for that book.
No, but okay, no, you don't need my article for the Springer.
Well,
right?
no, Springer is the book. In other words, I don't need it for.
Okay, sorry, I'm making a confusion. Okay, sorry. Okay, the book.
Frontiers, we only had 10 waiver of fees, and we've used those all up.
Okay, so that is closed. Yes,
and that's closed, and that's
That's
we're supposed to have had all of our articles in by the 15th of October. So that's pretty much done. And in fact, at least 4 of our articles, I think, have been sort of published, but the real issue of the special issue will probably come maybe in November or at the latest December, in terms of the
okay. Great.
the special issue as a special issue. But they're publishing these articles as they come online. But the timetable for Springer is we're trying to get articles in by the end of the year.
Yeah.
Werner has already done his article, so we are ahead of the game with regard to his article.
I have
Jim Green and I are working on our article as well. So anyway, we are in pretty good shape with regard to the special issue. Hopefully we will have approval from Springer, and hopefully we'll have several hundred people for the workshop on November 13th.
Great. Look, I'm sharing the abstract. This is still the program, right?
Yes, but the thing is, well, in other words, that is the program, and that fills up the 4 hours. And again, the idea of this workshop is that these were articles that were written either for the special issue or people who have committed to do articles for the book. And we couldn't, within 4 hours, get more speakers in. And so we tried to accommodate people who who had already submitted their articles and had them approved for the special issue, or people who have actually written articles for the book already. So that was kind of the basis of the selection process. Peter Swan asked to be included, and I included him, but otherwise we have in other words, people who had already done their articles or had done abstract that had been approved by me. That was kind of the selection process. We could have had almost twice that amount of people had we had more time, but I think it's better to have really good and not go too long on time.
Okay, that's fine. Now, I think that, well, in the first part, as you will see on the recorded video that I will publish tomorrow, in the first part of this meeting, I have presented my big paper on the living in space, living in free space versus planetary surface.
Right.
And discussing with Werner and Luigina and Susan, we were thinking that this will be used. Okay, I will produce a reduced version, about 6,000 words for your book, but the paper will also be used later in the Congress, in our Congress, and we didn't have decided yet if it will be incorporated in the thesis document or just make a paper, a Congress paper.
Right.
The two things have a different, let's say, political meaning, because if we put it in the thesis, it means that we propose the preferred free space solution versus planetary surface settlements.
Right.
As to, that we propose that SRI has this position to prefer free space solutions. If we present it as a Congress paper, it will be, of course, an important paper, but not properly the SRI position.
Right.
But
one of the things that I need to discuss with you is that, do you know who Bob Richards is?
Bob,
he
no,
was one of the founders of the International Space University, and he was I forget whether he was the CEO, president, or top official of the company that was selected by NASA to be one of the commercial suppliers for the moon launches, commercial launch capabilities. But anyway, he had already committed for the book, and his article and your article, I think, have a lot of overlap. So we may need to try to figure out a way to just work about that. But I think we can do that. But I'm just saying that his paper and yours have a lot of in common.
That's a good thing. I'm happy with it.
Right, but not too much overlap. But I think through editing we can take care of that.
No, well, I believe I don't know if you already seen my paper or not yet, but I've sent it to you.
Actually, I don't know why. If you could try to attach it again, but for some reason it didn't come through.
No, I've given. Sorry, I have sent you the link to a Google Drive.
Right.
Where you can download it.
But I have trouble with Google Drive. The thing is, I have a.
Then I will put it here in the chat. Let me add it here in the chat.
Right. Well, anyway, I'm just noting that
I don't. Well, let me say, I don't think that anybody will say the same thing that I'm saying, because I'm.
No, I'm just saying that I think just a few sentences here and there.
I'm talking about.
Not big edits.
I am talking about the humanist requirements.
Right.
Let me see if I can. Yeah. Your computer.
Joe, it's Susan here. Just
Oh,
want to
hi,
clarify
Susan.
then. Hi, Joe.
Hi.
So for the submission to the Springer publication, right? Is it a maximum 3,000 words?
Oh, no, that's quite the reverse. That they want it to be a minimum of 5,000 words.
5,000, but can we have more than 5,000
Yeah.
words?
Right. Well, 5 to 6 is basically kind of the guideline.
The guideline. Okay, that's good to know. I'm glad I clarified because I thought 3,000 was
Right.
and you know, so
Right.
and that is going into Springer. So what is the other document you want that has a larger amount of words? Why am I thinking that there was a 15,000 word document or something?
No. In other words, there's just the special edition article, and those are 3,000 words, and they're pretty strict about that.
Okay.
But it doesn't include the words of the abstract. So that's important to know. But for Springer, we have the proposal out for acceptance, and I have a pretty good feel that it will go through, but we haven't got the final approval from Springer yet. But they have identified the book series that it would go in, which would be probably a $40 to $45 price tag. And I have worked with the editors there, so I have a pretty good feel that it will go through. But anyway, that will have probably about 21 or 22 chapters, and probably will be
that's the book.
300 words, 300 pages long. But that's the only thing other than the workshop that's on November 13th.
Right.
And I sent the abstract out. But those are the 3 things that we're doing.
Okay, so just clear my head. So the one that Brianna and you gave us a discount and we have to submit, right? That's the 3,000 word, correct? That's the journal, is that right?
Yes, right.
Right, okay.
And that does have a special waiver thing.
Yes, and we got that.
And she sent that to you.
Yes. So
there's Frontiers, there's the Spring Book Project, and then there is November 13th workshop. That's 4 hours.
Okay.
Those are the 3 things we're doing.
Right. Okay. Thank you, so Clara. Now I'm clear. So one is Frontier, which is the 3,000 with that discounted code that you gave me. And then the next one is the book with Frontier, which you're still negotiating, and we will know soon. And that would be chapters, right?
Right.
And then the third one is the conference abstract to present. Okay. Now I'm clear. Thank you, Joe.
Okay.
Okay, I've is in the chat, so you can download it from here. Well, I think if we have anything more to discuss, we can also close this meeting.
Well, let's just confirm when we're meeting next.
Next meeting, let me see. Let's see.
So next week, I'm going to a 21-day analog mission at the University of North Dakota's station, their ILMA station. So I will be in a blackout for 21 days. It's starting on the 16th to the 5th November. Just want to let you know I will share a flyer, but we'll have a crew Q&A live webinar. So if any of your students or community or SRI community and Joe ACES that want to join the crew and do a Q&A, just like NASA astronauts, right? Before we do the ingress, I'll send a flyer and share it out.
Okay. When is that again?
Next meeting. Sorry, Susan.
Go ahead. Who are you addressing, Joe?
I was just asking when would this Q&A
Mission.
session be?
Oh, it's on the 15th, this next week, 15th of October. It starts at 2 p.m. Central Time in North Dakota. But I have a flyer right now, so I'll share it out and email
Okay.
it to everyone.
Okay,
So
good.
thank you.
Our
Go
next
ahead, Adriano.
is in, no, sorry, I was replying to a previous question. Next meeting of this committee is the 12th of February 2026. Because the 13th we will have the event, and the 13th of November we have the event, and the meeting of this committee will be February 12th of February 2026. Okay.
All right. So November 26th, you say?
No. February.
Oh,
12
February 20th.
12 February 2026.
Okay. All right. So a lot of things to do for the event, but anyway, I had no problem signing in today. So I was a bit apprehensive because I didn't get into the Jerry Stone session, and I don't know what I was doing wrong. Anyway, thanks all.
Yeah, I'm going to just put here the flyer for the Q&A because it's already made. It's just freshly made. I'll put it in the chat, but I'll also put it in the WhatsApp.
Right.
Oh, no, that's the wrong one. Do not that one there. So
Right.
that you can share it with your social media and oh gosh, let me see. Is this the right one? Okay. Oh, I don't know if this is the right one. Oh,
So
hold
anyway,
on.
I
Yeah.
got yours.
See, that's
Yeah, no.
okay. I don't know if that's the right one. I need to look because I made several versions. Let me check to make sure it's the right one. I don't know if that's the right one. If it's not, then I'll have to email it to you because I don't want you to wait here.
Okay.
And it's taking a long time. Can you open it and see? Let me see. Yeah, that's the right one. So I will also share it with the social media on WhatsApp with SRI, and although I don't have ACES. Are you able to open it, the flyer? It's got the
Yeah, it
Zoom
says,
link,
yeah,
everything.
Crew 36 live
Oh,
stream.
no,
No?
26.
26 live
Oh,
stream
26.
Q&A.
All right.
Yeah,
Okay. My
yeah,
vision's not
26.
right.
Right.
Got it.
And this mission is the first analog mission ever that's going to focus on biotech and genomics. And so I think this would be really interesting for those that are interested in genomics and biotech capabilities that, for space. So anyway, with that, thanks so much. And yeah, I hope you share it out and we can
Good.
have up to 100 people live on my Zoom. So
Okay.
that'll be good. All right. And Joe, I will promise I'll get that final abstract and submitted to
Right.
Frontier in a few days. We're nearly done.
Right. We have almost everybody but
Good.
Madhu and Gary Barnard. I'm trying to chase them down, but done pretty well to meet our deadlines, and everybody has
Yeah.
done a great job. So thanks.
No, do we get a DOI number for that or for that Frontier so we can put it on our,
Well, they will, in other words, there'll be a review process. You will
sure.
probably have to make some revisions, but so far
Okay.
the critics have not been too picky. And then they will publish it and send you the published article.
Okay, and then that will have a DOI number or not for citations and putting on under our references?
Yes, but I frankly, why don't you actually just send a message to Beatrice Priozzi?
Okay.
She's very responsive.
All right. Okay, I will do.
But I think
Thanks,
the answer is yes.
Okay.
Right.
Thanks, everybody. Thanks,
Okay.
Adriano. Thanks,
Thank
Werner.
you, Susan. Thanks, everybody.
Yeah.
Bye.
Take care.
See
Bye-bye.
you next
Bye-bye.
time. Bye, bye, bye.
Yeah. Bye.